Welcome back. Now, a temporary agreement has been reached between e-hailing drivers and the minibus taxi industry. This follows days of clashes after several e-hailing vehicles were burnt in parts of Soweto. The agreement will see e-hailing drivers only be allowed to drop off and pick up passengers outside the malls unless they are transporting elderly or disabled passengers. This will be implemented for the next 3 months. Goodhope Ledwaba, founder of the e-hailing app Schumer Drive, believes there are some long-term solutions to the war between the two industries. Ledwaba joins us now for more in studio. Thank you so much for your time, Goodhope. We do appreciate it. Thanks for coming through. I'm glad you're wearing your shirt. We're going to talk all about that now. But let's just start off with the violence that we saw in Soweto for the past 2 weeks. This is not something new. There's been an ongoing battle between minibus taxis and e-hailing operators. People have lost their lives. It's been violent. It's been brutal. Maybe just tell us your overall concern about this ongoing conflict between the two.
Thank you very much, Heidi, and to the viewers at home. You know, this whole e-hailing thing, I think we need to solve the biggest problem, and the only thing that will solve all the challenges is when we as South African can stand up and, you know, really make sure we've got our own things, our own technology, because people come from overseas to invest in our country and to introduce new things without following the right protocols. And because of this whole thing, I mean, it's been 10 years since we had ride-hailing in the country, and I saw problems coming, building up, you know, in the near future because of ride-hailing. The reality is that it's chowing bit by bit. Every day it's chowing on the taxi industry. And if right procedures are not followed, we put a lot of lives in danger, especially of the poor drivers that are driving, that wants to do things right, but our government, again, you know, not legislating certain things. So we need to change the status quo. And we are a local solution. We are a local Shuma Drive app.
Yeah, before we get into that, sorry,
Yes.
I don't want to interject. I just quickly want to ask you before we speak about Shuma and how this is a local solution to a local problem.
Yes.
The decision on Friday, the MMCs with e-hailing and the taxi industry in Soweto on Friday came to agreement that for the next 3 months, Uber and Bolt drivers cannot go inside the mall to do pickups and drop-offs unless you are an elderly person or a disabled individual.
Yes.
Do you think that that's a proper solution, even though it's only going to be for the next 3 months? Because for me, it just seems as though you're diverting the danger from in the mall to outside the mall.
Yes, definitely. So it's not a solution. And again, we are putting more risk on our passengers, the elderly. I attended the meeting. One of the community members complained about, you know, elderly people, that now they're going to become victims now of being robbed while they're waiting for e-hailing cars, you know, to pick them up. It's gonna become chaotic, because even we are still again putting the risk of the drivers now at danger, because we are not even 100% sure whether those cars were being banned by taxi owners, I mean taxi drivers, or they were being banned by these, you know, illegal operators who have been blocked by these other major apps that we have in the country, because that could be another reason why, you understand. So it's not a solution.
Yeah. Okay, let's speak about Shuma Drive. You have a local solution to a local problem, very innovative. Maybe just quickly tell us what this is about and where it is being rolled out, if it has already been rolled out.
Okay, Shuma is a ride-hailing app. We are currently operating. We've launched in the West Rand, but also we're getting trips around Gauteng. It's growing around Gauteng. Other drivers from other regions, They are forever calling us, checking when are we doing promotions in their respective regions, because our strategy is that we go regions by regions as we negotiate with e-hailing association. We are currently rolling out in partnership with the Santaco meter taxi. From last year we had engagements with them for them to accept us. We will not say they have fully accepted us, but they are piloting because they need to. They also want to understand how ride-hailing works, and if they can be accommodated by the solution that we are bringing. So we are not just bringing, launching just because of people are launching ride-hailing apps. First, we are negotiating with local taxi associations, making sure that they know about us, because in our black culture, when you go into somebody's house, you knock first and then you look for the father of the house, and then you introduce yourself, and then you tell them why are you there, and then so that they bless you. And so that's our strategy. So we go into an area and then we negotiate. We're in the Val, we started in the Val last year around October, launching there. And there were, violence between meter taxi and e-hailers. We've been trying to, resolve the issue. It's still, in negotiation. So now we've launched in the West Rand, and then from the West Rand we are reaching out to the entire region. So we are going region by region. We are also in talks with IPCO, which is the e-hailing Partners Council, because we also respect their mandate as the regulatory body of the industry. We are in line with their industry benchmark, to make sure that we don't exploit drivers and also passengers. They can be exploited by apps.
Yeah, and also there's a danger because you're hearing of passengers being violated, being raped in certain vehicles from certain apps. I don't want to mention them, but it's public knowledge.
Yes.
But I want to ask you quickly about your engagement, if at all, with Gauteng Transport, because it's important for you to engage with them. And your challenges that you face as Schumer Drive. You're obviously very new. You need some sort of investment and support. Are you receiving that from Gauteng Transport or from anybody else that you are asking for?
No, I'll be honest, we're not getting any support, although Department of Economic Development has recently, approached us after they've seen one of our activations. But, I mean, we've tried to apply for, with the IDC, but we were turned down. They were saying our technology, it's nothing, different. And we are struggling with investment. We live every day, we hustle up, get maybe 1,000, 10,000 that side. I mean, we build, for the past 6 years, I've been building the technology, overseas, because locally, there's no one that can develop. Even if I wanted to empower local South Africans, but there's no one that can develop this technology. So I had to go overseas and make sure that I develop the app. The app is well developed. It's functioning properly, like it can compete with any available ride-hailing app that are in operation at the moment. But investment-wise, we really, that one I want to appeal to business people out there, who are sitting on serious money to get in contact with us, maybe look at investment opportunities that we have, because we are really struggling. We want to, bring that proper take-off. But also I want to appeal to our listeners, our South Africans, to support local solutions. We are doing this for them because all the dangers that are happening in the ride-hailing industry, they are happening because of people. They don't understand how things must be done in our country. We understand how things must be done. We want to protect not only the drivers, but only also the passengers, because they'll be caught up in a in a crossfire, of bullets or of whatever.
Sure.
I mean, we had gunshots at Maponya Mall, even at what you call Protea. So we don't want that to happen to any of our passengers. So South Africans, please, let's support local technology. Download the Shuma app, use the Shuma app. Stop comparing Shuma and other apps. Always be pro South African technology. Drivers, stay online, because your clients will be looking for you. Because drivers, they've been crying for years. We all know they've been crying that they don't get fair treatment from other apps. So here's a local solution. It's fully functioning. Go and ask your fellow drivers, friends in the West Rand. Check with them. The technology is working very fine. It's competitive in the market. We are trying by all means. Yes, there's issues of pricing and all that. But we can all reach that if South African, both passengers and drivers, understand one another, because this issue of pricing, it's a very critical thing, because it's slowly chowing also on the taxi industry. And this is why now we see all these revolts, because there's an encroachment now into the taxi industry. Indirectly, we might not be aware that this thing is chowing on the taxi industry, because the other time I was doing a presentation in Rustenburg to the taxi associations. The owners, some of the owners were agreeing with me when I was saying their own children, they no longer use minibus taxis. They started using
Ubers or e-hailing.
E-hailing cars. So meaning we are slow. Ride hailing is slowly taking over the market. But the reason why is the issue of pricing. Low prices. I mean, imagine 2-3 people getting into a small car for 25 rands, and where else in the minibus taxi it's around 15 rand per person. I mean, it means automatically where now you have already started eating, and also issues of e-hailers operating, the manner that they are operating, they become illegal if government does not
regulate it.
Regulate the industry. Government must come and regulate the industry. Give us app owners, regulation. Regulate us. We didn't say we know. I mean, I've got other businesses that I do. We are always regulated. But why don't they regulate this one? And they know that the industry where we are operating, it's a blood industry. Sure. It's known in that fashion. So meaning they are putting a lot of kids, drivers at risk if they don't regulate. They need to come on board and make sure that they regulate the industry.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for your insights. And I do hope that people support you. And it's obviously on the onus of government to regulate this industry. And of course, look at people like you who are young entrepreneurs that have a local solution for a local problem. Thank you so much for your time. That is, of course, the founder of Shuma Drive, Goodhope Ledwaba. And it's an ongoing issue and a very worrying issue. So we do hope that government understands that there are local solutions to this problem.